Can anyone stop the Chiefs?
Fellas, the answer is no. I'm mad at myself, though, because about 9 weeks ago, I came out here and said the Chiefs would go undefeated. It appears that I will be one game off. Can't nobody stop the Chiefs, and let's talk ball as to why. I see the Chiefs having three components that I am hard-pressed to find any other team having. They have the coach, they got the quarterback, and they have the players. They got the coach, Andy Reid. They got the quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, and they have the players, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman. Look around the league. You can just look at a team like the Rams. They got the coach. They kind of got the quarterback sometimes, and they kind of got the players at other times. Look at the Bucs. They got the quarterback. They got the players. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown. But they don't have the coach. Wherever you look, you'll be hard-pressed to find a team that has all three components. You could say the Packers, but I would argue they have the player, not necessarily the players, when you just look at having number 17 out there at receiver. So when I talk about the Chiefs and their inability to be stopped, for me, it is because they have so many weapons. How are you going to figure out who to stop? How are you going to figure out how to stop them? You look at the top two leading receivers in the NFL coming from the same team, one of which is a tight end and Travis Kelce. No, the Chiefs can't be stopped. They have all the confidence in the world, and they have all the talent in the world.
Man, yeah, they could be stopped. Your answer
Who
is
gonna stop?
Your answer is no, but the real answer is yes. Who gonna stop them? They already been stopped. Have they lost a game this year, Acho? Like, sometimes you can overthink things. You got 2 degrees. You always want to flex them and always show them. Take them off the wall and use them every time you take and do something. Calm down. Have they lost already this year? Yes, they have. Can they lose again? Because they've already lost the game. Not even a hypothetical. Yes, they can. Now, how do you beat the Chiefs is the real question here, and I have the answer in terms of what their kryptonite is. And remember, even Superman had his kryptonite. Shaquille O'Neal had his distractions. That was his kryptonite. Dwight Howard had his issues, and Kobe Bryant, and that back surgery, that was his kryptonite. Cam Newton has his kryptonite, and he's Superman as well, because there ain't no weapons in New England. And what's the kryptonite of this team, the Supermen of the Chiefs? Pressure on Patrick Mahomes. Every quarterback's issue. Yesterday, we only saw 2 pressures on Mahomes. For some weird reason, the Bucs wanted to come out there, no safety help up top, and wanted to go man coverage against the Chiefs. Woo! There's a reason why very few teams do just that, because that will occur. You will get toasted. But look at the Chiefs when they had to play against the Raiders in their loss. The Raiders had 22 pressures. When the Raiders lost the game to them, only 6. So now you're starting to see what the correlation is in terms of beating the Chiefs. You got to get pressure up front. Will there be a team in front of them in their future that could get pressure on them? Yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers, leading the league right now in hurries and pressures, can't get that same pressure on them. There's a kryptonite for this team. Not very many teams have it, but certainly there's a way to beat the Chiefs.
You know, Marcellus and Acho, I'm going to do something that you shouldn't do on TV. I have given a set of notes before the show, but I'm going to switch it while we got to the show, because I was about to come out here and I was going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and, how great they are and all the weapons they have and the MVP and Patrick Mahomes. And they do have all those things. But much like the Golden State Warriors a few years ago that had all that weaponry, we saw them taken down by LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavs. And it's because of a simple formula that I think has been outlined and laid out on how to beat them. You talk about Pittsburgh Steelers being able to do it, and they can't execute it. This game plan comes back to the game that we saw them play against the Buffalo Bills. The one thing that you see when you see the Kansas City Chiefs, they want to throw the ball down the field. They want explosive plays, much like the Warriors with Steph Curry shooting threes and Klay Thompson hitting threes, and the crowd goes crazy. You have to take that element away. And what you really have to do is say, hey, Lev Bell, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you guys can run all day. You can have all the runs that you want. But what we're going to do is we're going to focus on winning in the red zone. And we've seen the best teams that have stayed in games with them. They've done that. They played soft zones. They let Pat Mahomes go up and down the field. Yep. But when you get into the tight red area, they're saying, if we can just make them kick a field goal as opposed to touchdowns, we have a chance. The Pittsburgh Steelers absolutely can do this. The New Orleans Saints also can subscribe to that theory and have success.
First off, Bucky Brooks, the reason that the Warriors lost that game was because of LeBron James. That's why they lost that series. LeBron's from Ohio. There's no way he's marching down for the Pittsburgh Steelers anytime soon. So sorry to disappoint. But let's talk real things here. I'm going to ask America a riddle y'all can answer as well. What teams have beat every team on their schedule this season?
Pittsburgh.
And the Chiefs. The Chiefs have beat every team on their schedule this season.
I give you that.
So, Columbia, gotcha.
Yeah, not Harvard.
So the kicker at hand is this. Yes, the Raiders did beat the Chiefs.
Yep.
But the Chiefs also have beat the Raiders along with everybody else. There is no team on the Chiefs' schedule that can look up and say, man, we haven't been beat by them. The Chiefs have literally beat everyone they have played. Can they get beat by the Steelers? Sure. I'm not saying that the Steelers can't beat the Chiefs. But when I'm saying, can anybody stop these Chiefs? The way I look at it going right now, I'll just talk one more number for y'all to let this settle home. In teams that have only scored 28 or less against the Chiefs, they're 29-1. Mahomes' record when the Chiefs allow 28 points or fewer is 29-1. That means you got to score 28 points, 29 points against the Chiefs just to buy a ticket. Just to have a chance at beating Patrick Mahomes, you got to put up 29 points. When I look at the AFC playoff picture, who y'all trust to score 29 points? Cleveland Browns? Yeah, don't trust them. The Miami Dolphins? Yeah, don't trust them. The Colts, did y'all see how Phillip Rivers played? The Baltimore Ravens? Y'all see the decline of Lamar in this offense right now? The Tennessee Titans and the Steelers are probably the only two teams I trust to buy a ticket to have a chance to beat the Chiefs. So it's not only my eyeball test, you also just got to use common sense. 29-1 Patrick Mahomes is when the Chiefs allow 28 or fewer. You got to put up 29 just to get a ticket to beat them teams. I don't see anybody in the AFC. I don't see multiple teams in the AFC with the ability to do so.
Yeah, I understand that. Pittsburgh is the only team in the AFC I could really sell you on. The Packers.
Yes.
NFC, you can start talking about the Super Bowl. You're right there. But the formula is out there. The blueprint, as they say, is out there in terms of when the Raiders played them twice. I'm telling you, you just got to look at it as this simple. They had 22 hurries against them. They won that game by 8. And then they lost the game by 4. They only had 6. Then the Chargers take the Chiefs to overtime. And in that game, they had 16 hurries. Just simple as that. You just got to make Patrick Mahomes have to dink and dunk. Play the zones, make him have to run the football, and make Patrick Mahomes have to sit out there patiently and march down the field methodically. Yeah, he can still do that, but there is a way to beat this team. And I'm looking at the teams that had the most success against them. And it's not just a win-loss success. It's talking about the games as well. Because if you look at the Chiefs games, they started off a little slower than we anticipated. But, of course, they always have that nitrous button because of all the offensive weapons they have. But if you can get that pressure in that soft zone, you give yourself a fighting chance, and Pittsburgh may be the team that can really take them down.
You know, Marcellus, there are two teams. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, as you pointed out, because the whole trick to getting around Pat Mahomes is, can you do it while bringing pressure, but also can you do it with your guys up front? When I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have 3 guys. They have Cam Hayward, they also have Bud Dupree and T.J. Watt. So they don't have to bring extra people, but if they do, they certainly can get home. When I look at the New Orleans Saints also have multiple rushers. Cam Jordan, Trey Hendrickson, who was leading the league in sacks. They're able to get home and they can throw an umbrella over those people. And then when you talk about, because Acho was talking about, can you score points? Where both of those teams have the ability to score points because of the way their offenses are constructed. And let's make no mistake about the Kansas City Chiefs. Their defense isn't a juggernaut. They are a defense that plays with a lead and they get timely turnovers and takeaways. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the New Orleans Saints, respectively, can give them problems. Those are the two teams that the Chiefs don't want to face on their road to a repeat.
Yeah, it's interesting. You look at it right now, only the Colts are the last team that have beat them in the AFC when they faced them, as your riddle went in the beginning about the Raiders. So the Colts are in right now. We'll see if the Colts have a Chiefs matchup in the future. Maybe the Colts could be a team as well, but it doesn't look like it is going to happen.